Hello everyone, my name is Karen Cyrus and I will be demonstrating via this video how to set up an SQL Server, or the famous name SQL Server. Now during this presentation I will be pausing this video because it's pretty boring just watching software load. To me it's like watching paint dry and evolve, so without further ado let's dive into it. Now I'll be installing the SQL Server on top of Windows 2008 server platform using this virtual machine, as you can see. Now if onlookers have a dedicated or physical system they want to install the server on, one can simply get the SQL CD or download the SQL Server off a torrent site, mount it to a USB or burn it to a DVD via a bootable format. Now before we just go installing, just a brief overview of what exactly is the SQL Server Management Studio. It is an integrated environment for accessing, configuring, managing, administering, and developing all components of SQL Server. So something to keep in mind is that before we install the server, it is recommended that you run the SQL Server on a computer with the NTFS file format. Now let's check the file format here, where you could see, see this is NTFS. So installing SQL Server on a computer with FAT32 system is supported, but it is not recommended as it is less secure than the NTFS file system. Now before we install the server, there are certain prerequisites which must be met before the server could be installed, the SQL Server that is. So I usually recommend that we go to the Windows update. If you could search in control panel for those of you who not, and this is it right here. So you go on the Windows update and you do the update. Make sure your server is connected to the internet. So I already did my update already. So for instance, like prerequisites like .NET Framework and these things would be upgraded to the latest version. But besides the PowerShell, besides the .NET Framework, we have other prerequisites like PowerShell and these things. Okay, so when we open up the application for the SQL Server Installation Center, one good practice is to, within the planning section, we come here, System Configuration Checker. So after Windows has upgraded, it's good just to come here and do the check, just to ensure that all the requirements are met. So I will just run this process here, just to make sure that all my requirements are met. So my check, I just completed my check. I have everything passed, I have no problems, so from here I could go ahead with my installation. I come here to installation, new installation. This process is kind of time consuming, so as I said earlier on, I would be pausing just to save some video time. Okay. So what's happening here is that it's just processing the current operation, making sure things go out straight. Now if you don't have the product, the copy I downloaded off the torrent site, I have I see it have an option for license. It have the specified free edition. So I will go ahead with the license installation. I accept terms. Now, a next important thing. Sometimes when we're doing these installations, we come across certain terms and definitions that we are not aware or fully have or don't have sufficient knowledge on. It's recommended at least Google, put the word or phrase into Google and actually see what the stuff means, especially people who are students, because sometimes you may be doing a course and questions will be asked on these same set areas, and you will have an upper hand knowing exactly what's going on. Yeah, so at this point here we just waiting for the installation to progress. It's a very time consuming installation. I unpause it because I want you all not to get lost, but to track with me as I go through step by step. Now, sometimes within different video lectures on YouTube, we would hear whoever is delivering the presentation explaining every component or every facet of this program. But bear in mind that me, I'm just a student, and here's a learning environment. So as I learn, you learn. So yeah, it finished evaluating and checking to see if all the prerequisites was met. Now here we only have one warning: Windows Firewall. You could click on the warning and see what it is telling us. But it is not a critical setback which will stop the installation. So go ahead, next, next. Now, these are some additional features for the server itself. So I will just be taking off the management tools. Now, even though I'm not taking off options like analysis service and reporting services and stuff like that, even though I'm not taking it off, after the installation is done, if these need to be activated, we could actually go into the program itself and continue with these features. Again, all our operation, our installation is running clean, smooth installation, no problems, which is good. This is a error reporting section. Now this section is just really for with regards to the Microsoft corporation. So when we take these options, basically what would happen is that any problems the server experience, it would be sending back the details to Microsoft. And what they would do, because remember, plenty of these servers would be online. Some people, according to the network, but some people will have these servers online. So as much as these error reports goes back, all Microsoft would do, they would fix the errors or evaluate what is causing the problem. After the fix, they will just change the GUI of the whole application itself, repackage it, and bang, they bring out a new version of the server. But the wheel is never reinvented. They just add to the wheel. So I wouldn't be taking it off. Everything running straight and smooth again. So it is ready to install its full package here. You can see the installation is still rolling on. Okay, at this point my installation is just about completed. I'll just wait for this process here to finish. Go ahead and start closing this stuff. So as of now the installation is completed. So basically we have the server management studio here. We'll fire it up and see what's taking place here. Another thing is that this part of the process, finish come up. My system is a little slow. Yeah, here we could like select the database. Guys, it hasn't been. Yeah. Now usually from here we could actually like select whatever like the type of server or the database and stuff like this. But since we don't have any database or anything, we could use these settings here to point to go and add the database. When you're adding a database, you could go and run queries on that database from here. So actually this is the full installation. Thank you for watching, and I hope everyone learned something. Thank you again.